Let's flash back to June of 1986. I had just moved on from 8th grade, my 8th grade graduation, as I called it back then, and my paternal grandmother gave me a really cool gift for that particular graduation. It was a Commodore 64 personal home computer, along with a 1541 floppy disk drive, the model number 1541. So no more was I playing video games on cassette tape, and let me tell you, loading games from cassette tape is painfully slow. So having a floppy disk drive was a really cool improvement. I also received 2 game cartridges along with the system. I got Gorf, which was my favorite arcade game at the time and still remains one of my favorite arcade games to this day, and also a game called Radar Rat Race, which was Commodore's version of Namco's Rally X arcade game. But instead of using race cars, you were using mice. The significance of the Commodore 64 is multiple. It was my main video game platform from June of 1986 all the way until Christmas of 1990 when I got my NES. I played a ton of games on the Commodore 64, from arcade conversions like Gorf that I had previously talked about, to original games like Toy Bazaar and Raid Over Moscow, to sports games for the first time. Now, playing sports games, I played a few in arcades, but I was never really into them. It wasn't until I picked up a game called Hardball from Accolade that I started to really develop an interest in sports games. Hardball is a baseball game. It's an arcade-style baseball game. There are no statistics. There's no season play. It is just you against a computer or against you against a friend. There is some minor player management, and you can bring people in from the bullpen if your pitcher's getting tired. But it's a very pick-up-and-play kind of baseball game, which is why it appealed to me, being a fan of arcade games like I was and like I continue to be. So when I picked up Hardball, I did a lot of things over and above the Call of Duty when you're playing a game like that. I picked up a notebook or a binder, and I actually tracked all of my line scores for my batters, my pitchers, game results, cumulative results like batting averages and earned run averages. It was the game that not only got me interested in video game sports, but also got me interested in baseball in general. I had been swearing off baseball for years before then. I played Little League for like 3 weeks until I got hit in the head with a fastball, and that was the end of that little experiment. But playing Hardball let me play video game baseball and take my place on the diamond as a pitcher or as a hitter, be able to drive in the winning run in the bottom of the ninth inning, situations like those. So Hardball is a very important game to me. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Not in the top 10, but certainly like in the top 50. Certainly one of my favorite Commodore 64 games of all time. So why am I bringing it up on Unsealed? Do I have a sealed copy of Hardball for the 64? No. Unfortunately, I do not have a sealed copy for the Commodore 64 because I don't have a C64 anymore. My mom wound up selling it after I moved out in 1990. So yeah, I kind of lost that. But what I do have is I do have a sealed copy of Hardball, but for a different platform. And it is for the SEGA Genesis. It's this guy right here, Hardball, and you can see the very buff baseball player with the bat in hand. This is Ballistic, which is Accolade's Genesis publishing arm. And here's the picture of the screens on the back. You could get a free 38-inch by 26-inch poster by Boris Vallejo of the game's cover art, so that's pretty neat. And I'm going to read, just like I usually do, the back of the box for you. This is the first 8-megabit sports game, so that's pretty cool. Over 1 million fans can't be wrong. Hardball is the most fun, the most action-packed, and the most realistic baseball simulation. We'll get to that last part in a minute. Ever to step up to the plate, and now with 8 megabits of power. Jeez, I sound like Joe from GameSack. It's in a league by itself. There is uncompromising arcade action. That's why I like this game. Home runs and line drives, double plays and double steals. Baseball's so real you can almost smell the hot dogs. By the way, hot dogs is 2 words, not 1, but I will continue. World Series Championship. Play the best of 7 fall classics. Save your 1-loss record after each contest. So that's kind of neat. Hear the voice of a real National League umpire. 17-year veteran Eddie Montague calls him as he sees him. That is part of the bigger cartridge form. Fully digitized diamond sounds from the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd. Hear dozens of in-your-ear sounds. That just sounds kind of gross. So again, here's the back of the the box, it talks about World Championship action in the top screenshot. I know it's tough to see because it's kind of dark. Pre-game batting cages, so you can go and you can take some hacks beforehand and start to learn the swing timing. Manage with total player control, and 26 big league rosters. So there aren't major league teams in here, but the major league cities are represented. So this is from 1991. So this game, it's now 2019. So this game is 28 years old, pushing 30. I'm very excited to be able to open this. I had a complete copy of this, actually, and I gave it to my buddy Sam because he likes baseball just like I do. Whenever I go to his house, sometimes we play RBI or we play other baseball games. So now he's got this of his very own because I knew I was going to be able to open this on camera. So, enough of the chatter. Let's go ahead and open this up. It does open from the back. This game was not that expensive, which is pretty cool, but it is always nice to be able to open up a sealed Genesis or Super Nintendo game. This comes in a cardboard box, by the way. This is not one of the typical Genesis cases, so opening this may be a little tricky. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. So when we open up the box, and there's the back of the box there, or the front of the box, we have a hardball manual, and we'll get to that in a moment. We have the offer for the poster, which is right here, as well as your warranty card, and we'll get to that shortly as well. Hardball, what is this? Oh, that's pretty cool right there. Let me put this over here for a second. So you get little hint cards for Hardball, Star Control, Onslaught, and Turrican. That's what the back of the cards looks like. That's really cool. That was not in the copy that I gave to Sam. Let's see what it says for Hardball. The lower the pitcher's ERA, the more pitches he can throw before tiring. That's not the way that earned run average works. Keep an eye on his velocity. When it slows, you better yank him. So that is pretty neat. These are perforated, by the way, so I can take these and make a nice little set of trading cards if I so desire. And I'll show you the cartridge just so you can see it is one of those weird-looking Genesis cartridges. It's not like the typical Sega cartridge. It's one of the bigger ones. And the cartridge itself does have an end label. I'll take it out of the plastic so you can see. So there's the label right there. And let's talk about the warranty card for a moment. So again, while that's ballistic, you get a 38-inch by 26-inch poster while supplies last. You just have to send a check or money order for $2 shipping and handling. So that's kind of cool. It comes in a tube and mailed first class right to your doorstep. When we open up the warranty card, I feel like Gene Rayburn on Match Game. Don't just toss this card away or leave it in the box to gather dust. Fill it out and return it today to have a chance at winning a year's free subscription to both Game Player's Magazine and Game Player's SEGA Genesis Strategy Guide, a $48 value. 15 lucky names will be selected each month. That's pretty cool. I like that. So you fill out your name, phone number, address, city, zip, age, gender, and date purchased. That's what's up at the top. Down at the bottom, we've got some warranty information here. Number of games purchased in the last 6 months. That would be over 10. Although not this past month. I've been pretty good over the past month. Number of hours per week spent playing video game products, 0 to 1, 2 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 20, or over 20 hours a week. No, I wish. More like 6 to 10. Decided to buy because friend, magazine review, magazine ad, packaging, salesperson, gift, or other. Remember, the internet was not a thing yet in 1991, so of course that's not listed. Which video game magazines do you read? EGM, Game Players, GamePro, Nintendo Power, Video Games, Computer Entertainment, a magazine, by the way, that is sorely underrated, or other. What types of games do you like the best? Adventure, graphic adventure, action, arcade, shoot-'em-ups, role-playing, sports, puzzle, strategy, or other? What games, home computers are in your home? This will show you the sign of the times. Amiga, IBM PC, Macintosh, Nintendo 8-bit system, Nintendo 16-bit system, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis system, NEC TurboGrafx with the PHX at the end, Game Boy, Lynx, and Game Gear. And finally, how would you grade this product? A, great, B, good, C, okay, D, not a favorite, or F, disappointing. Solid B for me. It is not as good as the Commodore 64 version in terms of smoothness and how it plays, but there are more features and bells and whistles here, so they kind of offset each other. So maybe like a B plus, A minus. At least that's where I come from. And the instruction manual. The instruction manual is in black and white. It is not in color. A bunch of cool stuff about how to play hardball here, probably more than you would ever need to know. Talking about what all the statistics mean, average home runs, stolen bases, wins, losses, saves, earn run average, you know the deal, at least if you follow baseball. It is a decent instruction manual, 29 pages in length if you include the warranty. Pitching tips are here, as well as batting and base running tips, and there is a password function. There is not a battery in this cartridge, so you don't have to worry about the battery dying on you, but you do have to worry about writing down passwords, which can be kind of a pain in the rear end. So it's really cool to have hardball to open the brand new copy for the Genesis. I did play the game about a month ago before I got this in the mail, and I really did enjoy it. It is a fun throwback. Playing the game, what's interesting is that there are different perspectives between the batter and between batting and pitching, which is pretty cool. There's better music in this game, and it's very easy to pick up and play. If you see a copy of Hardball for the Genesis when you're out and about and you have a SEGA Genesis to play it on, by all means, go ahead and pick it up if you like baseball, like I do. I got my Show 19 baseball hat on here. So that was awesome. I do have more baseball games to get to, but I'm not going to open them all right away. It is a long 162-game season. We're only about 10 games in, so I get to those as the season progresses. But in the meantime, if you like baseball games at all, or if you have any experience with them, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. If you get a few seconds to drop me a line, I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, thanks very much for watching Unsealed. I really do appreciate it. And until the next time, my friends, take care of yourselves and each other. See you later.